All right, better late than never, folks. Better late than never. Let's get right to it. A couple of tech issues this morning, but they're all hammered out. What's going on, everybody? How we doing today? Sound okay? Hope everyone's doing a little better than I am. Still trying to shake this, whatever it is that I got. Anyway, what's the word for today? Right? What are we gonna look at? What do we got? I think I'm going to be totally freestyling today. Maybe you guys can give me some suggestions. Yeah, thank you. Greetings, everybody. Hey, Victoria's here. David, as always, Dragos, Miss Stephanie, Laser D, Snipes, everyone else. Great to see them. Let's get right to it. I'll probably go a little short today. I'm still, like I said, my energy level's about a 6, and my cough is about a 10. So I'll be pausing it out. But let's take a look at the immediate 5-minute deal. What's happening this morning? What do we got? How about our midday hop level, midday dot levels hitting right now off of a type 1 deep crab? So if you are home alone or with friends trading, this is what we're looking at. A little 1-2 for today. Maybe come back down for a retest. Beautiful crab on the 5-minute. Geez, these 5-minute patterns have been so nice. So, and that's what we got for right now. Literally, you have a type 1 pattern inside of a pattern. Beautiful reaction off the hop low. I mean, look at this hop. 313.09 this morning. Absolutely. Wim Hof breathing. Glutamine and I can't even flush in science in. Thank you, LC. Appreciate it. But hey, Let's talk harmonic patterns. Let's talk type 1 reaction. That's the definition of a type 1 reaction. 5-minute time frame. You're done on that trade. If you were in on that trade, that's it. That's a reaction. And what we'll look for throughout today's session is for the type 2 return. You got your dot. You're at between target 1, target 2, 317, 318.82 on that little 5-minute setup on the Qs. So let's get it. Hey, I hope you feel better, Mr. Glenn. I hear it. I'm going on a week of this nonsense. But let's talk about Qs and SPY, because these are big levels. And we'll talk also crypto, your favorite crypto, coming up in a second. But this is big stuff on the daily. And we really are a type 2 on what is a kind of an inside, what I like to call an intermediate bat pattern on the daily. So we are really at a point that we've been waiting on for since the lows from March. You go dot to dot. What should we see here is a nominal retest of the actual dot trigger itself, 318.16. And then we'll deal with the consequences. But yesterday, we almost had a 3-bar breakdown. Masterson Trust, good question. He's asking, can we play the type 2 return given the dot? You sure can. I prefer looking for a pattern inside of a pattern. But let's, we'll look at that in a second. Yesterday was came really close to triggering what I thought could be something larger of a breakdown, but you never look. It really matters. The 3-bar breakdown concept is kind of a structural consideration in price action where once you're underneath there, it's definitely something where it's a substantial multiple price bar move. They were able to rally it yesterday on the close enough to not actually trigger the 3-bar. So do expect some more consolidation here over the next couple of days. This is the dot we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for almost 10 days for that dot. Ever since HSI triggered back here, we're looking for that dot. And a final move, and we'll look at some examples, is usually a nominal retest of the bar, the body, even the peak, but it shouldn't last. So if we rally today into tomorrow, you're in a kind of a final consolidation zone trying to then resolve a big type 2. Be aware of that. Like if we go into a little corrective mode second half of this month, this is the reason why. It's still chop. We're still up, but you're almost at the end of that up phase where anything above this 312.10 level has been the area we've targeted. I was thinking maybe we go as high as the hop, depending on wherever the dot comes in. Dot's here now. It was yesterday. So today is literally the first day of this massive pattern that we have been assessing since January. We had that completion back in the end of January. Then the dot came early February. Reaction, return. Now do we get reversal? And it's real close, but that's how we break it down. And we talk exact levels here. We're really not fudging, and it is one of the beauty of the harmonic levels is their precision. So we look at the prior day's bar, and this should set up some kind of divergence where 319.06 is your key structural resistance going forward. Then let's get a little weekly perspective, because it still is about the weekly time frame. We have patterns. We have big patterns. And I've been considering what if we go into a type 2 return off of this butterfly. We had a number of bullish patterns on the Qs and the tech sector that marked this low, is the reason why we have been rallying since October, but we still treat that as a reaction that has the possibility for a weekly retest if we get a dot somewhere in here. Big long-term things developing. Here's the HSI weekly signal that says, hey, warning, warning, we're coming up on resistance. Let's not get complacent. Now, if we get a bearish candle, whether it's inside or doesn't matter, in the next 2 weeks, on the weekly time frame, that would be your first bearish dot since all the way back there. That's somewhere in this zone, and because of the daily is the way it is, it's probably closer to the 311, 312 area than anything higher. And so if this shapes up something like that, don't be surprised. I don't want to get complacent in this area. I think we've made some progress on the downtrend. It's probably even better on the SPY, but the cues on your weekly look like this. Keep an eye on that. The big, as we know, if we wanted a true end of this bear market with a pattern behind it, it would come at a type 2. Type 2, register, confirm, and then you're into the new bull market. The way that these type 1 explosions, if this is not going to do the type 2 retest, we should see a bar over bar weekly explosion, not only up to target 2, but through target 2. That's why this level is critical. And we go to the big stocks, we see the same deal in like Microsoft. So weekly, it's a bat pattern. It's still a type 1. Has not triggered anything yet, but we go to the daily. Yeah, you do have some things. There, Microsoft is a Gartley on the daily that is retesting its dot level, where a possibility of going from, say, 288, 290 to 236 is anticipated, but needs a 3-bar breakdown. It's not there yet. It's just not there yet. And structurally, I would prefer to wait for that. That it'll be a flash in the pan. So it's still up. But if you're going to get a nasty candle, get a nasty day, that could be the beginning of it. Just be aware of that. We're at a critical spot. The first bearish signal we've seen in the techs in a while. And I'm not saying, go run for the hills. I'm just saying some kind of pullback correction in this area with a nasty day or two could set you off. A few other ones that are pretty clear as well is, Tesla's probably the leader here with what it's doing. You go to its weekly, we're probably, maybe get a bearish week this week, and then one more bearish week, Tesla would be done. That this would just be a reactive move, barely a type 1 move. But Tesla, then you can't continue the high. You go form a lower high. You do something like that. So that initial run, over for now. Beyond that, we'll take it as it comes. Again, this is why the dot helps. It prevents the drawdown. You're usually going to see a little more consolidation. Things don't just pivot. You don't just hit a number and you pivot. There's always a process. There's always a 3 to 5 bar window and such. So let's keep an eye on that kind of stuff. The other, probably the big one as well, is Meta, which I think is performed beautifully off of its big pattern, especially on your weekly. And this is still quite strong for now. That's why I'm not saying it's now. I'm not saying it's yet. And Meta still has a target 1 up at 242. Look at its confirmation variables. HSI is headed back up. Amplified still in the overbought. So you're early. Structurally, 242 is a likely area. And this stuff could provide a quick rush to hit these levels and then go. I want to be in front of that, though. Just make you aware of that. 5-minute time frames are still quite nice for tradability. We're seeing beautiful patterns across the board and stuff like Meta. Here's a midday dot with a deep crab. I think I talked about this recently of this deep crab down here on the bullish side. Whole lot of interesting patterns forming over and over again. Sure, I'll look at Google. Look, Google has been one that coming off of a beautiful pattern. There you go, now 107. We've been on Google since 93.33 because of these structures, the XA level, 93.33, and we still think that target 2, I still certainly think target 2 at 111.28 is possible, and still some follow through, but it's getting close to those last stages. You've got a dot forming, so you're kind of retesting this resistance area, and the only thing that would really set that off is some kind of 3-bar breakdown. Hold on one second. Hold on. So let's not get caught on that. Let's definitely stay with that, and be aware that we're coming up to some important levels where yes, we could still see some higher moves, but structurally, a couple things have put themselves into place that it's not a longing spot unless you're clicking 5-minute opportunities. There you go. I mean, let's follow what this 5 minutes doing midday right here. I mean, you're right there, 107.75, almost a double dot here, and we'll see how that comes through the session. You kind of size it up like this. There's the dot. There's the check back. It's above the hop, but that should be about it. Give me a 5-minute breakdown under this support level. Let's say if we get a 5-minute bar that fails and rolls under and starts to go, that would be fairly ideal for a type 1 retracement off of that. Just like that. The 5-minute patterns have been really sweet. No matter what the direction is, they've been clear. They've given sizable moves. You just have to trade within the framework, as always. Let's go to the SPY quickly. I'm going to fire through a whole bunch here. SPY, we know the deal. You've got HSI that triggered yesterday. Let me remove that work from the other day. It's more about, can we print a dot? Yesterday we had HSI, first HSI up in this zone, and it's like this. There's the other HSI arrow that triggered on that secondary retest. Now we have it here. Today's check back day for SPY. You retest the high at 408.70. We already hit 409.15. This can be bullish or bearish, doesn't matter. Talk to me about 2 more days to print a dot. So we're going to look to the right of this and probably look to it into next week. And we get a dot, then we start to think, all right, that's probably it for now. And you almost might put in some kind of divergence. Yeah, look at where you are. You've triggered HSI, and amplified has also been triggered. That's for HSI signals. You always want to see HSI and coordinate that with your RSI indicator, amplified, this case, for that ideal confirmation. That double confirmation is usually best. Daniel's asking about the banks. Yeah, let's get into the banks in a second. Mr. Kennedy saying, what's a bank, Daddy, in 10 years from now? A bank is a Fed Reserve dealer. That's it. I think that's a great question, because you're looking at basically Federal Reserve going to consolidate everything into about 4 or 5 banks, and they'll tighten their control even further, especially when they roll out their digital currencies and all of that. We know what the plan is. Hey, this is why we're here. We're here to develop the skills, the understanding, the comprehension, essentially to thrive within the game that they allow us to play, and that's trading. I know a lot of people have expressed to me, especially in COVID, people that lost their jobs because they weren't going to get vaccinated, or just simple layoffs. I mean, we know it's a tricky time, and I'm not dismissive of that for anybody. Doesn't matter who you are, how much money you have. This is a time for like-minded people to come together, support each other, help each other, and kick ass in the market so that we can generate that freedom and not have to be a slave to their system. That's just how it is. I mean, I don't know, left, right, center, whatever your flavor. Look, everyone at the end of the day is trying to make a buck to eat. Some, some more than others, but I'm never ever lost on that sense of needing to thrive in these type of environments. Let's keep moving forward. I'll go to those banks. Let's look at the XLF. And this is, from a harmonic perspective, you've got some interesting things shaping up on the longer term basis. The daily was a shark that set this off. Beautiful example here of, look at your confirmation. Yellow dot up here with the check back set you off. That's from how we look at things. That's why the banks are down. Go to the weekly though. This is something that is interesting, like the tech stocks. The tech stocks are, if that was Microsoft, Microsoft is pretty much almost at target too, with looking for a dot, and then it came all the way back down. The banks, I'm probably early on the banks. I've recommended Bank of America and PNC recently, and a couple of nominal bounces, but I really think that this has got a lot of the early signs that we want to see. Structurally, you're clearly in a type 2. You're coming back to retest. But what's the problem here? We just generated an HSI confirmation above the retest level. 2942 is still the minimum structural level. So that suggests the banks still need to come down a little further, and maybe as low as the hop, and then generate something. That, even if that happens, that would put pressure on the markets. One of the ones I've been looking at, I've been long recently and scalped at one time, is PNC, and probably early here. 125 has been the number for us. Weekly time frame. All right, depending, why is that not generating? Why is that generating there? It was really a type 2 from here. Regardless, we're still down in the oversold zone. You're talking probably 3 weeks more. So you're 3 weeks early on the banks. You're not ready yet. And the candlesticks here, price action, quite ugly. You haven't put in a bullish week in 7 weeks, 7 straight down weeks. So what's the likelihood it goes to the hop level? 114, 115? Likely. If you're in at 125, you probably want to scalp out, cut it, and break even to small loss, and look to re-enter when we get a dot down at 115. That's what I'm favoring here. Bank of America is much the same. I did well on the stock, and then the options burned like toilet paper for me, and that was a disappointment. But we're trying to put in HSI down here. $28 was what I was saying before. I'm gonna say let's back it out to weekly framework, weekly time frame. And let's look more like 25 or even the low 20s on Bank of America. It's just not happening there. It's just not happening. You had no reaction. We really should have been off to the races already. That should have crashed, completed, inflect, giving you the inflection out, and then go. Banks are early. Daniel asking, you always have some good stuff. What's WS? Webster Financial. I don't know that one. I never heard of that. Webster Financial. Oh, there you go. There's an alternate bat on the weekly. Well, what's the daily? What do we have here on the daily? You got some dots. You've got nothing though. No, I don't. I'm not crazy about that. Not crazy about that. Here's Charles Schwab, which had a shark right at the top. Come on, Schwaby. There's Schwab, and still dropping. Still dropping. Look, came off of this shark at 82, and there's nothing there yet. There's no there. So, what's your weekly look like? Big crab pattern, and it's a type 2. But again, we would look at target to 48.39. You're almost there, but tell me about confirmation. Anything there? No, deeply oversold. Please, people, look at your HSI and RSI indicators, because if they haven't come out of the zone, you're nowhere near a long position. So this is, being a weekly chart, you're 3 weeks away or more. Same deal with amplified RSI. I would rather wait and look for actually much further downside with this support all the way down about $32 on Schwab. That's probably where the major support is. If you can't trigger anything here on Schwab, go all the way down. I'll give you one more. JP Morgan, the big boy. Man, that guy was an ugly guy. Pretty interesting history though. But tell me what's going on, folks. Shark down to target 2. We did, and this is weekly, but what needs to happen? What do we know? We did get an HSI last week. Now check back and give you 2 more weeks. That's how we know we're early. There's no opportunity yet, and my thought is you're going to check back hard soon. This is not over, and probably get down under 120 area. Let's see how that works. Dystro, you look new to the chat. Welcome. He's asking, these harmonic indicators are available for TradingView. And go to harmonictrader.com, become a basic member. What everyone needs to do is go to the basic members page and access the information and send your username to hpc@sr-analyst.com for a free 14-day trial. And we recommend that everyone takes a 14-day trial first. Get acquainted with the tools before you subscribe. I really don't want anybody subscribing until you've taken the trial, so you know what you're getting. And it just makes our life so much easier. Makes my life so much easier. And then, of course, all of the information here brought to you by our mods. And hit the Discord link on number 4 here. Get in there. Like I said, last week I have been under the weather, so I'm not doing as much work in there as I'd like, but I will be doing more. All right. Let me highlight 1 or 2 things that are really working that have been phenomenal forever stocks. Johnson & Johnson is a beauty. And many of you know that I've been talking about J&J on a daily, weekly time frame. Look at this. What do you think of that, folks? Type 1 Gartley. This is the 1-2 phenomenon in action. And believe me, the type 1, type 2 framework is as powerful as the patterns themselves. Now we know Johnson & Johnson, beautiful, down at the hop, 150.23. It was essentially what we're looking for. The daily time frame had beautiful things too. Look at that on the daily. And I expect that to go 172 on this move. But that was a beautiful one. That's one of your forever stocks. Something like that. You buy it down there. And, you could trade it, but J&J is one that you buy on your weekly retracements because you go and look at this. It's not stopping. It's going to continue. I mean, that's how you assess that, and it's going to be a slow snail of a move. But you just had probably one of the best opportunities in about 3 years to get in J and J. It's a sweet, sweet deal. That was one of our three ideas. That goes out to gold members. The other one, Coca-Cola. Look at this. I mean, the weekly looks like about ready to break out, but we've been talking about this daily phenomenon for a while. Look at that. Kind of tough to see this because that was the quick type 1, and now type 2 come right back down, and now you go. We're trying to check back an HSI right now, so 63 bucks. You might hit some resistance, but I think Coca-Cola is just another one that, even if it came all the way back down, let's see what happens there. But the breakout continuation should continue in the months to come. And then let's look at Berkshire Hathaway. Let's go to the B shares because those are a little more affordable. Berkshire Hathaway coming back to retest resistance at 315. These are all major stocks that we know about the market. If these are going to roll over, the market might pull back. Weekly looks like this. Look at that. There's a reason why Berkshire's really having trouble at this 312, 307 level. I'm going to watch that closely, kind of as a sign of of the broader market. I'm not a fan of Warren Buffett, people, or his little sister Charlie Munger, but this is a nice indicator for broader market because of his exposure to those type of stocks. We'll see what happens. A lot of interesting things shaping up now. I think financials do play the key. If you're not gonna go higher right now, then you're going to see banks come back. Here's one other one, Eli Lilly. This is another one one of these real slow, kind of slow movers, just that I have mentioned a while back that it's a beautiful type 2. Here's the type 1 on Lilly, right back down to 317, and now absolute explosion. This is an example of how do you know when a reversal is just going to give you a bigger move than the target 2? It does exactly this. It blows through the target with conviction, no confirmation, and just continues in a bar over bar fashion. That's what's going on there. Anyway, hey, big shout out to, I guess, our first gold winner was who came in here this morning on that. This is giveaway Thursday, so first person to type V3 will win a volume 3 book. Why don't we do that now? But the first person in today was who gave me a gold was William Lauderdale. And please, if you have won before, please do not respond. And I also have to say that if you have won before and you respond and you win, I don't have enough time to stop and think of who's got it. But Masterson Trust, you win the volume 2. You have to contact oh no, it's V3. So Roy, you win. Roy Smorenberg, you win V3. Masterson Trust, the V2. I'm out of stock on those V2s. It has to be a V3. We'll give away one more book and we'll do one more gold membership. But if I got to turn you away because you already won, I'm sorry. We just have to do it that way. Because we can't have. I mean, some people we've honored that, and even guys that have won back to back. But I'm telling everybody, let some other people win. I've given out a lot of books and a lot of memberships so that people can understand what the premium stuff's about, get access to the material. Especially if you can't afford it. Or, it's just, believe me, I'm thinking about ready to stop even printing the books because it's been such a pain in the butt. Let's see what happens. So we'll give away one or two more. This is the deal. And these examples, what we just ran through with Lilly and Coca-Cola and Johnson & Johnson show us that the markets are printing opportunities within this crazy chop environment left and right. Let's just accept that and not try to get complacent. And a lot of times I say that to myself because a lot of weeks I just say, "Oh, this market's just nothing," and then I turn it off for a day or so, and you got some perfect opportunities. Let's look at things like Penn Entertainment. This is 3 ideas that I'm just updating for some of the members, but beautiful bat pattern here. Gave us a high level dot formation, still a type 1, but Penn Entertainment and the associated DraftKings, that was another one. We have lots of patterns printing now and continue to do so. So absolutely feels like doesn't feel like much is going on, but there's a lot going on. Let's jump over to the top 5 crypto world and just go through that. Hold on one second. Okay. Let's run through the top 5 crypto. And nothing's changed. Crypto's still in a beautiful, glorious place. High level accumulation, Bitcoin 28, whatever. What is it doing right now? It's just stalling at the dot. It's a type 2 shark. And I've been saying that if we get a pullback, it will be a gift. And it'll probably be the last pullback. I think it's going to be something like this. As I've been saying, that what you really want to see, if you're super bullish, is you want to see a sideways grind for 30 days that takes you essentially into about 2 weeks from now and then break out. And that's how I feel like we get a high level here where the sideways action kind of grinds down the bearish signal. And look at how HSI is just kind of trickling down, where the indicator it goes from one extreme to the next where price doesn't move. Why? Because it's getting bought up. There's heavy demand up here. Every time we come back to that 27,000 level, it gets bought. And as some people have been suggesting, and I do think it's coming, is the God candle. Once we resolve this consolidation zone, we're going to get a God candle. And a God candle will be a 2,000 point bar, in my opinion, 2 or 3,000 point day that will set off the move to go to the targets that we have really embraced of type 1 of the crab pattern. Look, 37,214. We will hit that this year. I think we'll hit it by the end of June. But it's in this little move gyration. We're setting up for that next level. So check it out. Let's be ready for that. And Ethereum flashed above 1900. Number 2 on our list. There you go. And came back down. I'm thinking this is starting to break out. And I'm going to watch it closely here. Another situation where you didn't have anything really trigger. Prices, interestingly enough, price continues to kind of grind higher in the face of all this bearish resistance. I got to think 1762 is support. And maybe what we do is come back down one more time on this level where you back test that area and then you launch. And we know that the levels, the retest at 2000 will come. And that retest at 2000, we talked about this last time, sets off your follow through for a bigger BAM. 2403 would be the first stop. 3344 is all-time 886. And that could shape up, like I said, within the next, I would think at some point this year, you are well above 2403. I think 2403 is probably a target like Bitcoin by the end of June. It's just give me something off of this current consolidation on an hourly or 4 hour chart that sets off the pattern. Some kind of bullish something. You have a shark here on the hourly. That's interesting. Maybe what we do, remember I just said look for that 1762 on the hourly, 1781. The shark becomes a 5-0, and that could be the launch point. That could be your launch point. Please be patient with these crypto markets. They are fermenting, I think is a good word. About ready for the bread to rise and be baked into a nice loaf. And then you're going to crack major time frames that there's no turning back once you go there. The 5-0 deal, we saw that in Bitcoin. That's what set off this most recent move. The other one, look, the other one I think I'm going to start looking at is Binance Coin. What happened there? Oof. Binance Coin got taken down to 300 probably on that news. And what I'm looking for is Binance Coin to generate the next dot. We know there's a whole bunch of things not there yet, but Binance Coin is a creeper that I think will be strong once you get above the 400 level, like the other ones. Probably Bitcoin and Ethereum are in a stronger position, but just keep an eye on that. It hasn't done much, but I think you're going to resolve this zone, which is 330 to the downside, 297 support. We really shouldn't see Binance Coin below 290 again, period. Especially with what it's doing the last few months of making a series of higher highs, higher lows. And let's focus on that. Number 4, XRP. After last week's bump and move, holding 50-cent level. And we know there's massive patterns here. We also know about XRP that the only target I'm interested in is getting to 92 cents. I think a lot of people want to call for $3 or $20 or whatever on XRP, that it's going to go to the moon. And I think this is one that can go to the moon. I think this is one that could go back and challenge the all-time highs. You had that kind of a first thrust and holding 50 cents and consolidating. Excuse me, one second. Okay. Holding 50 cents, I think, is a good psychological level. We want this to go. You want it to go, and I think you get above this zone. Your larger zone is 37 cents to 63. So if you bang around in there, definitely. But you want to go. You're only playing for 93 cents, folks. So if you're getting long here, anywhere in here, you just have to be patient with the situation, and you're going to get to 93 eventually. I think higher, because I think this has done so many nice things here. Lots of patterns. These are your big patterns that when we go back and look at XRP a couple of years from now, you're going to say, man, I wish I was in on that pattern. And even if you trace it out, look, just theorizing, connecting the dots kind of a thing. There's XRP at a 56, 57%, almost 618. That even by connecting the dots, your 786 all time puts you at 265. So that's not crazy thinking. And if you go through any of your favorite crypto, connect your long-term dots. We know with the T coins, the toilet coins, because they sit below the S coins, you want those that have, come off 90%, major weekly patterns, gone through a consolidation phase of 30 weeks or more, and broken the downtrend of the bear market. I always go back to what happened in 2018, 2020 with Bitcoin as the model. Now we can move that to other major crypto. XRP is probably not a T coin because it's too big of a market cap. It's probably a true S coin. Sorry, 1 second, boy. That's the deal. Number 5. We've chased that around. We've changed that a couple of times. I think Cardano is still number 5. And another, maybe probably S coin because it's a little too large of a market cap to be a T coin. But, Cardano is another one. Had Cardano come down 3 cents, 2 more cents, I'd probably be saying go ahead and chase this thing. But it didn't. We were looking for Cardano at 28.4 cents to satisfy that deep crab. That would have set it off. Not there yet. And I'm still I'd still be patient on that. We would get another trigger, and I'm going to go through a couple more crypto that show you that patterns still do happen even at these high levels. But let's be patient with Cardano. Of course, that's another one in the next cycle that people will throw darts at. They will just pile money once the crypto cycle gets going. It's a fun mania kind of a deal. And Cardano will be the beneficiary of asset allocation into crypto once the cycle fires up. But it's definitely not there yet. And sometimes you can miss your ideal target by that close. 29.8 versus 28.4. It was a penny and a half away from perfectly satisfying a type 2 that would have been the ideal structure. Let's just be patient. There's lots of opportunities. Let me get to a few that exemplify those opportunities that that everyone, even at these kind of after the fact moments, are showing themselves to be high level or higher level accumulation zones. And the one that happened recently was Doge with a beautiful shark pattern. I know Elon, he probably will integrate Doge into Twitter like WeChat, like he talked about long ago, but I still want patterns. And I think, Doge is a proof of stake coin, is a joke and all of that, but it's got enough support where it's a viable entity. It's just that there was a type 1 move. That's what it is. And who's to say that this is not going to come back down maybe one more time to 7 cents? It's on that retest with Doge. You're currently at 9 cents. Come down one more time. Give us the type 2 of the shark. Then I'll look for possible moon landing or moon launching like that. So if you missed that, don't worry. You got another one coming. Some of the other T coins that I have mentioned recently, things like, here's this Jasmy thing that I keep mentioning. I feel like this one exemplifies the whole type 1, type 2 perfect combination, where there was the deep crab back at the end of the year, go up to target 1, come back down. You have confirmed, you have set up. Now you're slowly kind of turning the corner here. Target 2 up at 0.918 cents, just under a fraction of a penny. Almost a double from current levels is not crazy to think about. I don't know, this, to me, there's no difference between this and XRP. I'm scraping patterns. I want to scrape patterns just like this that have structurally satisfied the 1-2 with confirmation. and then be there on the type 2 for the anticipated larger move. One or two more that are, oh, here's the other one, ICP, for those in the insane clown posse folks. It's a type 2. It's really ugly. It's ugly off of this bat pattern, but between 555 and 434 for ICP. I think you get one more retest down here, 476, but you're looking for that. A lot of these are down there setting up for the type 2s. Someone wanted to see this OP, which I agree with. This was another one. Here you go, OP. Where is this? This one was a shark on the daily, perfect. Did a type 2 down there at 84 cents. At the moment, nothing there. Wasn't that something on the 4 hour here? Oh yeah, it was a bat off the top. A buck 87 at the hop for the type 2. Kind of stretching itself out. You know, you have some confirmation essentially around $2 for that one. I think there's better opportunities though. One of the better opportunities was, come on, brain. Oh, VE chain. Again, sleeper. Down in a hole on your daily, weekly. This is another one where I've talked about this, and I've talked about where we are with crypto. This is the place where you want to be off of those. You want to be buying them down here. You want to speculate into crypto. You want a 5x, 10x over the next 18 months. This is one of the best ones, I think, that could get you there. And 5x from 2.3 cents to 11.5 cents is not a crazy notion. And that's what you're looking to play. All of your numbers are 2.3 cents, confirmation 2.2 cents. You're sitting right in that zone. The only problem with it is you're going to need to be able to be patient with all of these. And that's okay. But if you want to participate in that crypto space, get a big pattern like this. Get confirmation behind you. Break out of the bear market downtrend to the right of it and find those that got killed 95%. Here's one that's not a personal favorite of mine, but it is Harmonic as F. And I hate to even say this word, but it's Hex. And Hex had a bearish shark recently. And you might get another opportunity. Let me get, that's not the right, here's the right feed. There you go. Hex, let's trace it out. Look, we all know the deal, Mr. Gucci. And those people aren't my flavor, but I'm still here just for the speculation and the charts. And so, yes, we had a beautiful crab pattern down here all around. Essentially, there's confirmation. The first completion was a big 1618 flush that really went to the 1902. If you don't know, folks, the 1902 is kind of a complementary level beyond the 1618 that we use in these type of situations. 1902 is like this, doink, and then 1902 is, I might be too low. 192 is too low. But there's overspill. Confirmation. My point here with Hex is that you went back to back. And now Hex is probably done for now. And someone can go tell him that he might have his day after a retest under 4 cents. You're 7.5 cents right now. This is a prime example of letting the setup come to you. And that setup for Hex is back at 4 cents. And then maybe it does things. But at least these altcoins, T coins, are doing movements that, hey, impressive from 2 cents to a crazy 6x above 12 cents, but that's it. So we're still in reaction phases with a lot of those type of opportunities. I would say if you really wanted to catch that massive move in Hex, which did one of the largest percentage moves in the last rally, let it retest, come back there, and then go. But it's down here. It's not up here. Here's the 3 ideas for my folks, my gold members. H bar, Hedra hash graph. Same deal. Big patterns. Your hop level at 7.3 cents. You're around 6.2, and you have some confirmation. I would expect this to still go sideways, but another basing formation. Thank you, Daniel. Daniel's putting up probably some very good symbols there that you guys should copy and take a look at. Appreciate that. Daniel, maybe next session we can go, if you could bring those back up. I would certainly look at them. Today I'm just going to kind of rip through and be done. I have a bit more energy next time. All right, 1 or 2 more. What do you guys want to look at? Give me something. The graph, GRT, that's another one. Just trying to get ready here. The graph had a big move off the December lows. It's a crab pattern. Let me clean this up. Oh, too many sketched arrows. All right. This kind of check back, I would think graph maybe back at 11 cents gives you one more. And that would be then, a place to look for a launch. Algo, sure. Algo is one that we've looked at with massive patterns down there. And I like algo. It's just that it's been taking its time. But look, here's our weekly. Come on, what's the for algo? Algo is these daily levels. Basically, I think the confirmation that we've seen recently is essentially where it is now, 20 cents. That was the one. Chili's. That I do want to look at Chili's. That's something I've featured for a while. And look what happened. We got that retest, and we're getting some response off of that retest level. Remember, 11.3 cents was the number. You had a few tests down there. It's still in the zone, not doing much, but listen, it's building. It's building. And we can expect things from here. So Chili's, from a harmonic pattern perspective, is in the right position. Kind of thing you want to see. Sure, I don't know what that pond is, joke, but what is that? Pond. Is that a crypto or is that a stock? Okay, pond on Binance. I don't know what that is. Looks like T-Coin City, though. Looks like, you did your 90%. Anything here? Not really. Not really, my man. Let me check. Oh, it's called Marlin. I've never heard of that. Nothing really there that gets me. Avalanche, sure, and Axie Infinity. Those are 2 we talked about last time for you crypto crazies. It's like this. And Avalanche, we do like Avalanche. Avalanche is one to have in the wheelhouse. Why? Because it's done all of the things it needs to do to be a T coin. There you go. All-time 886. And these gaming, metaverse stuff, they're going to have their day again. And you're down here at levels doing stuff. It really, the daily is this. The daily is another extended, this is a butterfly in this case, where your hop level at 14 should be support. You're at 18 at the moment, but you're deep. You're deeply oversold with these. Where it's more like 23 or 25 bucks is the big support, but just frame it out. It's kind of like this. Are you down closer to the low end or the high end? I would say you're down on the low end. It's probably something, break it down on like a 4 hour and trigger off a 4 hour. Okay, good one. Did I mention this last time, the 4 hour on the shark? Probably about 15 and a half, 15 should hold going forward. Let's see what happens there. Hey folks, if you like what's going on here, please hit subscribe and the like button. People tell me that helps to get the word out. And we have cool people in here, so if you got cool friends, please invite them over and have more cool people join us. And let's give away a gold membership. Next person to type in gold, G-O-L-D, will win the gold. Here's Axie Infinity, another one of those gaming. I like that, 7.5, $8. It's not going to matter when you're at 20 or 30. Wu G Hammer, you win, my friend. You got to contact Miss Stephanie on the Discord. For everybody that won, please go to the basic members page, access our Discord link there, and get in there and connect with Miss Stephanie. She's one of the moderators. She's family. She's good people, as we say, and she'll help you out. Axie Infinity, I like it down there on the daily. This wasn't weekly as well. It's in all. Look, that's definition. It is definition of T coin. T coin. Look, 160 now $8. And I do for the newbies and people that are new to even just doing spread of retracement ratios. This is a possibility. You have to understand that in even the weakest of bear market rally recoveries, all-time 382 retracements are very, it's common. And so you're down at $8 with on the next cycle in the weakest of moves, that could go to 68, 65. And that's how we look at it from a harmonic perspective. Excuse me. Wait, one more time. So, with whatever your favorite T coin is, crypto, doesn't matter. That's how we should be framing out where we are in this bear market and where we could possibly go. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm done. Let's look at Ethereum Classic. Personally, I don't know a lot about the crypto tech, but to me, digital storage of value does make sense. And proof of work coins make sense to me. In the same way Bitcoin, a lot of people espouse those advantages. I think the same could be said for Ethereum Classic. The same could be said for Doge and other proof of work entities. Despite the negative reasons that people also cite, I think fundamentally people are going to look to these vehicles in the future. You get a couple more banks to fail, and people with spare millions that they don't want to lose in a bank are going to pile them into these proof of work type crypto. Ethereum Classic, I like this one. I really think this is something where you have major harmonics going on. It's a proof of work entity that we're down here at 20. Your main level at 1880 or as low as 1625. That makes sense to me. You're still at a point where it's going to take time. And we know that there's big patterns. Where's the butterfly here? There's a big butterfly. There it is. Sorry, it's Binance feed. But this is a type 2. And let me just kind of follow through this for everyone so that you understand that there's the reaction element that happened last year from 20 to 40. Great move. Has all the reactive flavor that type 1s express. Come back down for the type 2. And on this butterfly, your XA is at 20. I would think anything under $20 for Ethereum Classic is probably an opportunity. Sure, it might go lower than 20. It might go to 17 in there, but you're not worried about that because our objective, much like XRP, is to go to the target, which is 54. And a lot of these things I'm saying in terms of understanding how these potentially can play out 6 months from now, a year from now. I'm applying the harmonic model of the retracements and the patterns and the pattern framework where these get going off of these zones. There's only one place they go. They go in between the minimum target 1 as much as target 2. And so I want to look back a year from now when we're full blast into the new crypto bull cycle, that I can go back a year ago and say, folks, we're just applying the 1-2 framework. That's why at $20 I was saying 54 as a minimum for Ethereum Classic. I wouldn't be surprised if the thing made a run all-time 886, even with that scam wick. Okay? Even with that scam wick. This pattern tells us target 2, but even long-term retracement value, your 382, all-time 382, is around $75. You're at 20, 3 plus X. And I do think it's before the end of next year. It's a lot going on. I think you have to kind of anticipate this next year, year and a half, and we are coming into a potentially seasonally bullish cycle of presidential cycle, re-election cycle. I have no political flavor, bias. Personally, I can't stand either one of them. It's just, that's where we are. Everybody's on their own. You gotta accept this, that we are all on our own. It's up to you to make your own bucks. Even if you have a job, even if you have a career, you still have to develop the skills of trading, because trading crypto or the traditional markets is one of the very few ways that people can improve their livelihood. And I'm trying to relate my history of a lot of this stuff that I'm looking at reminds me of the dot-com stocks from the late 90s, where I applied the same models and was throwing out insane price targets in the late 90s and early 2000 of what were possibilities that came to fruition based on the same stuff we're looking at now. So it's absolutely critical that we understand where we are. This thing, Ethereum Classic and the rest of them, they're not going bust. And you're on the bottom end of that correction, not only in price, but time as well. And going forward, every month beyond here, crypto gets stronger. Look for the retracements, the pullbacks as long opportunities. Allocate accordingly at the right levels. And you come back a year from now, we will be well on our way to sending these much higher. All right? That's what I have for today, folks. I'm going to spend the rest of the day getting my butt better. I'll be full on 100% Tuesday. We are back here every Tuesday and Thursday, 12 noon. If you have any questions, get to the Discord. Get to all of the resources here. And you guys can contact me on the Discord directly. So do take advantage of what we do here. Beyond that, you guys have a great weekend. You go get them.